we have learned what functions are, how to graph them, how to identify them, but now is the turn to learn how to combine functions. And combining functions means doing arithmetic operations to two or more functions. So for example, in this case, we have f of x is equal to x squared plus 8x minus 2. And g of x is equal to 2x plus 7. Let's start with the first combination, which is an addition of two functions. Yes, we can add two functions to each other, f plus g of x. Perhaps it's easier if we visualize it like f of x plus g of x. This represents the same thing. F plus g of x is the same as f of x plus g of x. And what does it mean? It means we have first f of x. So let's write what this function f of x is equal to, which is x squared plus 8x minus 2. Then we have a plus sign in the middle. So let's write the plus sign. And finally, we have g of x, but g of x is 2x plus 7. So let's write 2x plus 7 instead. And yes, we put a parenthesis on the second function. It just helps us understand better what's going on. Now, that plus sign, let's distribute it into the parenthesis. But distributing a plus sign, well, doesn't do any difference. We still have the same thing. The plus sign doesn't change anything. So we can just get rid of the parenthesis and have plus 2x plus 7. Let's clean the board because, yes, this is the addition of f of x plus g of x. But we always have to simplify as much as possible. And in this case, it means let's combine like terms. So let's bring our calculations rectangle. And let's start with x squared. There are no other x squares in this problem, so we just write x squared. Then we bring the numbers with x, with just x, in this case, x to the power of 1. And we have 8x plus 2x that turns into 10x. Let's put it into our solution. And finally, the numbers without any x at all. That's the negative 2 and the positive 7. And negative 2 plus 7 is equal to positive 5. And we put it into our equation. And that's it. After we simplify it as much as we can, this is our f plus g of x is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 5. But addition is not the only operation we have. We can also have subtraction, f minus g of x. And the process is very similar. First, let's write it as f of x minus g of x, so we can see it better. Then we have f of x first, so we take that f of x, which is x squared plus 8x minus 2. Then we have a minus sign in the middle, so this time we write a minus sign. And then we have g of x, which is 2x plus 7, and we put in a parenthesis. Although the parenthesis is not really necessary, it does help us, especially when we are learning, to understand that we have to distribute that sign, that negative in front of the parenthesis, we have to distribute it. That's why it's highly recommended to write the parenthesis, especially on the second function. Because with the negative, we have to distribute it, and the negative, what does is change the sign of everything inside of the parenthesis. We have positive 2x and positive 7, so it is now negative 2x and negative 7. Then again, technically, this is what f of x minus g of x is. This would be the answer, but we have to simplify as much as we can, so we have to combine like terms. One more time, the x squared is by itself. There are no other x squares in this problem. Then with the x to the power of 1, we have positive 8x, but this time we have minus 2x. 8 minus 2 is positive 6. And finally, the numbers without x, we have the negative 2 and the negative 7. Minus 2 minus 7 equals minus 9. And that's it. After we simplify as much as possible, we just put our function of f minus g of x, which in this case is equal to x squared plus 6x minus 9.